Hello and welcome back, I'm Shrike here with another D&D video. Today we're going to be looking at map making software in the form of Arkenforge. Before we get on with the rest of the video, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Give it a like if you enjoy the video, and then hit the notification bell if you want to be notified next time I upload a video. I've been using Arkenforge in my home game for quite a while now, so I'd say I'm pretty comfortable with it. I like to break Arkenforge down into 4 different sections: map making, map presenting, sounds and music at the table, and campaign management, all of which we'll talk about later in the video. Since I've been using Arkenforge, it has changed dramatically. There are always new updates. The campaign management side of the software is the most recent thing to be released. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you are viewing this video in a year or maybe even a month, it might have changed quite a bit. So go and have a look through my videos and see if I've made a new up-to-date version. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that's a bad thing that they keep on changing things. In fact, it's a very good thing. It's actually really impressive how often they update and make the tool better. So right, let's actually jump into the tool itself. So this is the main screen, and as you can see on the right hand side, there's the 4 different sections I spoke about earlier, and then there's also the content library. Arkenforge have an amazing community of people who share assets and maps, so that's where this content library section comes in. It's where you'll go to see everything you've downloaded from other people and added to your own Arkenforge. I really like that the community make assets and maps, not only because you have more toys to play with when you're making a map, but also you then have a library of maps that you can call them, because I know every single one of you have had a player who has gone left when you were expecting them to go right and you have nothing planned that way. So now you can just load up one of the community made maps and it makes it look like you knew what they was going to do the whole time and you're an amazing DM. So first up, let's jump into the Cartographer. So when you load into a new map, it will just be this gridded area here, and then up here where it says objects is where you basically add whatever you want to add. We're going to go into nature, and then we're going to go down to grass, and we're going to choose along the bottom here, we're going to choose this grass, and then you simply just click and drag. Now we've got our grass, we want to add some trees, so we're going to scroll down to the tree section. We're going to choose this tree here to add, and then you just put it where you want it, click, and there you go, there's a tree. You'll see at the very bottom right here, there's different ways you can place the assets. So we've got single placement here, but you can tile the placement or you can make it a brush. It's all pretty useful. It will intuitively put it to what makes most sense, but you could, in theory, put it to brush, put a density right down, and then put trees in line with your brush. Another really cool thing that it does is if you hold the shift key down while you're doing anything, it will give you a random colour and size. So if we hold shift and then we use the brush again, you should see that each of them have a slightly different colour and some are different sizes. One of the really cool things about this, and where it really stands out, is the animated assets. So if we go up to fire, and then we're going to choose this big fire, and then we're going to place it in there. It takes a little bit of time to actually add into the map, but when it's in, it looks really cool and your players will be really impressed with this. Let's make it bigger just so you can see what it looks like. There you go. While we have some fire there, let's talk about lighting. So this next section down here is lighting, and you can change the time of day to make it dark and light. And what you can do is you can click an asset and then go to lighting here, and then you can say toggle object light, and then that will give it a little radius of light. So if we put it down to night time, you can see that there's a glow. This once again is something that will really impress your players, and it adds another level to your game. Later on in the video, when we talk about presenting this map, there's some really cool things you can do with fog of war and light as well, so wait for that later on in the video. The last thing I want to show you in the Cartographer is how much you can edit an asset. So we've already seen the lighting, but just above that there's the object manipulation, and you can change the opacity, so you can make it see-through if you want it. You can change the saturation, which changes the colour slightly. Up here there's the hue, so you can give it a purple tinge if you want, and then there's brightness here to make it brighter or darker. There's some mirror options here, and then you can revert the changes, of course. It's really cool, and it means that you can basically make whatever you want to make. For example, you could go up here to this flame, and at the moment it's sort of a yellowish orange colour, but you could go to object manipulation, and now it's a pink flame. little things like that is really cool. And then if you have a different coloured flame throughout your wizard's tower, for example, it makes it feel a lot more magical. Right, so that's us done for the Cartographer. Let's go into what they call is the Soundscapes, which is the sounds and the music that you can play at your table. When you get in here, all you have to do is click the essentials and it will give you a load of different options here. So if we choose dungeon, and then you can choose whatever you want. So let's go for tombs, and then it will load up everything on the right here. This bit here is really cool, so you can all of a sudden do a ghost sound. So if you're describing that there's a ghost coming through the wall, you can press the sound and it will make the sound just like that. Another really cool thing is that you can use this bit down here, the mixer module, to, if you want to increase some of the drones sounds, you can do that, or if you want the orchestra noise to be louder, you can do that. So that's just really cool, and it's really good that you can change the minute bits like that to make it exactly how you want it. Once again, later in the video we're going to show you how to actually use this at your table. That'll be in the map presenting part of this video, so we'll go through exactly how you can use this when you are at the table. So next, let's talk about the campaign management part of this, which they call the encyclopedia. In here you can create different worlds and different campaigns, but I'm just going to show you the encyclopedia part of it. So in here you can put a new note. So let's just quickly make a new note. So I've just made a quick little note there called find the egg. This is where the egg is found. And I'm going to show you how you can put that right into your map as a little pointer. So when you're back in the Cartographer, just below here you see there's the DM tools, and then there's a search for links. So if we put in there find the egg, you'll see it comes up there, and then you can click it and then you can put a pointer on the map, and then that is only shown to the DM. The players won't be able to see that, but while you're presenting to your players you can click that and see what notes you wrote about it. I think that's a pretty good point to go into map presenting. So on Arkenforge they call it scenario, so you click there. Along the top you can do this time of day slider again to make it light and dark, and then you can also put on fog of war, which is something we've not spoken about yet, and then you can erase, and I would usually use a square brush, and then you can just erase the fog of war and reveal certain parts of the map to your players at a time. There's also dynamic fog, which is the bit I was talking about earlier, where you can get the lighting to go through a fog of war, so I'll show you how to do that. All you have to do is click the asset and go back to lighting here, and then there's this button here that says light through fog of war, and now you can see that is showing through the fog of war. You'll also see with this tree it's blocking line of sight, so if I move the fire around the tree it blocks the line of sight. Stuff like walls will do that as well, but that's also a pretty neat feature. On the left here is where you access your sounds, so we've already gone through this, but this is where you access it. And then also on the left here there's the toggle player view box, so this is where your players will be able to see, so you can move that and then you can use this to make it bigger and larger if you need to. Talking of what your players can see, this whole tool is built around using a second screen that you use as a map. So I just have a screen with a flat back that I put on a table, and then people put their miniatures on it. All you have to do is from the main menu go to the settings here and activate player screen, and then that will push what you want your players to see to the second screen. Now I built Castle Ravenloft in here when I was doing the Curse of Strahd campaign for my players, so here's a little example of what you can do with Arkenforge. I've just turned on the dynamic fog just so you can see a bit better how that works. So you can see as I move the light source it changes the field of view for the players, and then as they go through to the next room it changes it again. In theory on the fly you could also remove that door if they opened it, so that it goes through the door. I find it really handy using this dynamic fog system if there are secret doors, because for example using this room here the players will never be able to see that there's a secret door and a secret corridor around the back here because the dynamic fog doesn't go through the wall. So there you have it. That's a quick overview of Arkenforge. If you want anything like tutorials about it in the future, put it down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I really wanted to make this video because I've been using Arkenforge for some time now and I feel like it really has improved my home game so much. I just wanted to show you guys what it could do and its capabilities. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and then hit the notification bell next to it to be notified when I next upload again. If this is your first time seeing Arkenforge and you want to give it a go, I'm going to put a link in the description to their website. They do a free trial, and then it's only $25 to $35 I think to actually buy the tool, and it is worth every penny. I just realised that actually really sounded like an ad. This isn't an ad at all. They don't know I'm making this video. I haven't told them. I haven't been in contact with Arkenforge at all. I just really liked the tool, so wanted to make a video about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have used Arkenforge in the past, let everyone know in the comments what you thought about it as well. And until next time, happy gaming.